everyone, today I'm speaking to Rhiannon Ford, who's been with the Hug Directory for some time now, and Rhiannon is a divorce consultant. And Rhiannon, it's been great to have you in the Hug Directory for the last couple of years, so I hope you're well and ready for our interview today.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for inviting me. And I think the community that you've created and that you're running is a fantastic resource. So I'm more than happy to be a part of that. It's great.
So just to get things moving, could you tell us what the benefits are of using someone like you, a divorce consultant, when you're going through or embarking on the divorce journey?
Sure. So I recognise, so I've been running my consultancy service now for over 11 years. And I recognise, because I used to be a family law solicitor, I recognised, and it became very clear actually when my own parents got divorced, that it's not just legal advice that people need when they're going through such a challenging time in their lives. There's so many issues going on for them. Legal issues are only one part of it. In fact, they've got financial issues, emotional issues, children issues. There's so much going on. And I wanted to make sure that people got the right help from the right people at the right time in all the different areas of issues that may be coming up for them. So I created a consultancy service to make sure I could sort of bridge that gap with the help that wasn't available 11 years ago. So I think the difference it can make to somebody going through divorce or separation is, well, to put it bluntly, I feel I can save people time, money, and stress. So, and that can be done in lots of different ways. So one of the big things that I feel is really valuable for people is to have a safe space to talk through what they're going through. So I provide a confidential, non-judgmental space for people just to talk about everything that's going on for them, whether that's from a personal perspective, whether that's challenges that they're facing in the legal process, to make sure they have that go-to person. Because a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking to friends and family, and they may not feel they need to work with a counsellor. It may just be that they want to have a conversation with somebody who gets it and that can provide them with that safe space. So I think emotional support makes a huge difference to people, because it can be very lonely when you're going through divorce and separation. People can feel quite isolated. So making sure they feel supported as much as possible, I think, is really important. The other ways that I help particularly is because of my legal background, I can provide quite a bit of practical help. So when it comes to the notorious sort of financial statement, the Form E that's, a lot of people will know about. So help people to gather their financial information, how to present it to the solicitor. I do a lot of sort of budget forms, so income needs forms, that sort of thing. A lot of people will know about that. But also preparing people for their meetings, because they may not have worked with a solicitor before, or they may not know what to expect in a mediation process. So it's making sure they feel informed, they feel prepared. We chat through, how to feel comfortable and confident, what to expect, that sort of thing. So that's where I hope my sort of legal background can sort of help quite a bit. And then just generally coaching support through the process. So one of my clients calls me her go-to person. So when she's got something that's come up, whether it's a letter from her solicitor or she's got an important meeting coming up, we have a bit of a conflab about, how she feels about it, how she might want to prepare. She may want to ask me what it means, just to sort of set sort of realistic expectations, really. So I think there's lots of different ways. And I think the benefit to people is, I talk a lot with my clients about having a support team in place. So having the right people to help with the right things at the right time, which I think can not only help people whilst they're in the throes of the divorce process and the legal process, but it can help people not need so much recovery time afterwards. So because they feel supported at the time, the transition to their life post-divorce is that little bit easier, more comfortable, because hopefully they haven't been as traumatized as they might have been. Not that I'm saying divorce needs to be traumatizing, but just sort of trying to help people feel they're not alone and that they've got the right help in place.
I think it's brilliant that you have all the legal background as well. Really, really important. And I think, that's where a lot of the, can be quite traumatizing it's like learning a different language. your solicitor starts speaking to you, and it's almost like they're speaking in a foreign language, and you need to get a dictionary and start looking at what it all means when you're not legally trained. So
absolutely, I think it can be really daunting.
Yeah, definitely. And just things, your solicitor might just say, for me, or even things down to the respondent, and you're thinking, well, who's that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's an uncomfortable process anyway. Nobody wants to be going through divorce and separation. It's very stressful. And then you're in this legal process dealing with legal professionals and gobbledygook legal jargon, and it's just quite intimidating and confusing, I think, a lot of the time, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And even the court process, like you said, I think a lot of people, I know because I speak to them, they think that you just go to one court hearing and it's all over and done with. But to get to a final hearing, you've got 2 other hearings before you even get to that stage, and fact finding and all of that. So it's really important, I think, and really great to have someone who does know and can sort of unpick all the jargon for you. So it's great. Another question I wanted to ask you, Rhiannon, was what really, I mean, you're a divorce consultant, and we have quite a lot of divorce coaches in the Hug Directory. Could you really tell me a little bit more about the difference between a divorce coach and what you do?
Sure. So when I first launched the business, I was calling myself a divorce coach, actually. So that was 11 years ago. And then actually I changed my branding, because I do provide advice. So I don't provide formal legal advice. That's for the solicitors. But because of my legal background, I do get it much more involved in what's going on. So I suppose in my mind, the difference being, there are a few other divorce consultants. They tend to be perhaps ex-family law solicitors like myself. So whilst they're not providing a formal legal advice, they can provide much more in-depth practical help, and they have that practical knowledge and experience to explain process and demystify the legal process a bit and translate legal jargon. A lot of divorce coaches, and obviously I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of the coaches that I know of, and there's some great coaches out there, and I did do coaching training, so I'm a consultant and a coach, so I wear sort of 2 hats, but a lot of the divorce coaches have done a coaching qualification and have then decided to use that to specialize in supporting people going through divorce. So they may have been through a divorce themselves and then decided that they want to sort of help other people. And a lot of coaches specialize in particular areas, whether that's working and supporting people through domestic abuse or narcissistic abuse, or divorce recovery coaches. And I can help people at all the different stages, before, during, and after the legal process. But where I hope I can sort of add the most value, because of my background, is in the legal process itself. So really helping people to understand, feel a little bit less intimidated, feel supported, hopefully save them quite a bit of money as well. Because a lot of people use their solicitor for stuff that actually they don't need to use their solicitor for. And then, of course, those legal bills rack up, and it can all get a bit stressful, because money is always very stressful when you're getting divorced, because there's that uncertainty of what's life going to be like post-divorce. So I make sure that people only use their solicitor for what they really need to use their solicitor for. And then hopefully I can help them, or I've got a library of help sheets, or I can signpost them to other resources for them to sort of do things themselves, or get more cost-effective help with particular things.
Do you actually go to solicitors' meetings with clients?
Yeah, I do go to solicitors' meetings with clients. I do lots of things, actually. So I go, that's if the client requests it, or sometimes the solicitor does, actually, if I know the solicitor and they feel it would be a good support. So I can go to the meetings with the solicitor. And I also do go to court with people as well. So obviously I'm not their legal representative, but I can go so that they don't have to worry about where to go, how to get there. And then I'm a support system then while they're there. So when the barrister and the solicitor are talking gobbledygook and sorting out what's happening, I can make sure that the client is comfortable, knows what's going on, what to expect. So yeah, I do get quite involved in the legal process at the request of either the client or the solicitor. And we work together as quite a good team, really, because we've got different roles in being able to support the client in different ways.
Thanks, Rhiannon, for speaking to me today and letting us know what you do as a service to help people through divorce, separation. Is it better that, actually, final question, if people come to you right at the beginning of the process, I guess?
Yes, I mean, ideally, I can help people at all the different stages, but I think right at the beginning stages is where I can add most value. So making sure that people feel ready to embark on the legal process. So absolutely, getting the right support team in place, getting a good understanding of what to expect, getting sort of the help and that sort of go-to person there. So absolutely, if people come to me right at the beginning stages, and that could be that they're considering separation, could be that they've made the decision, all the decision has been made for them by their other half, but they haven't yet embarked on the legal process. They haven't yet gone to see the lawyer, or they've gone to see the lawyer and thought, oh, don't feel quite ready for that, but they still want to have some help and support in place.